are back down the water park. There's actually a train in the background. Wow. After the last video, I just seem to be followed by trains everywhere. Right, so yeah, like I say, we're back down the water park. All plans was to fish the main lake again and start the proper vlogs, if you like, on there. But the bank where I was going to, which is known as the social bank, where the shallow water is, it's absolutely like choked with weed. And then the other sort of favoured swims where you can sort of kind of fish towards those spots, they're occupied. There's people in them, and the only really sort of water left is like the deep open water. And this time of year, you know, knowing this lake as I do, it's you're literally wasting your time. So I spoke to the bailiff, and he said, you know, go around, mate, have a look and see what's going on, and you know, drop in somewhere. So I headed down the back towards traditional. Again, there's a few guys on. All the fish seem to be pushed up into one corner, and so that whole corner is just taken by anglers. Again, the deep water over the back, there's a couple of swims in there, sort of unfavoured tight swims really. I didn't fancy that, so I looked on the ML1, which is the lake behind that, and there's fish absolutely everywhere. It's absolutely alive with them, and the lake was empty. So there's no monsters in here, but I think the fisherman in me just couldn't say no really. I thought, you know what, come down here and get a bend in the rod. So I had 24 hours. I've had a walk around and sort of plan A, plan B, plan C, and it's left me now with about 17-18 hours to play with. So we're doing the night. I reckon there you go, beep straight away. I reckon hopefully we'll have a few, but I'm going to stop waffling. I'm going to get the old brolly set up and catch up in a bit.
Does not get any carpier than that. Do you know what? If carpy was in the dictionary or whatever, that would be the picture they used. If you typed carpy into Google, that's what you would see. Sexy as. Little things.
So we're all settled in. Fish are still here in abundance. I am not one for spodding, so making noise, especially on, I hate the term, but a quick overnighter. Like I say, I've just pinged 2 singles out there, one on a white, one on a yellow, both on helicopter rigs, both on Ronnies or spinner rigs, whatever you want to call them. And if I don't catch a fish on this session, I will take up golf. I'll just spin this around, bear with me. So this is match lake 1 on the Suffolk Water Park complex, or ML1, what the locals call it, and it's good for a bite. You know, it is what you call a runs water. Excuse me. Good little winter water. It's good for getting a bend in the rod. Now obviously match lake 1, it was used for sort of silverfish matches and the F1s and that sort of thing, but over the years see a lot of youngsters have come down and you know, put a little bit of bait in, and the fish have got to now half decent sizes. I mean, my boy had one out of here last year at was it 26 something, and say between us we've had a fair few 20s out of here over the years. So that kind of is the aim for the night, is to hopefully catch one of the 20s. Now looking out over the camera here, it looks sort of really small, but I suppose it's around about 5 acres in size, so it's certainly bigger than what it looks on the camera there. You've only got right opposite us there, sort of here, and I think over in the corner here. Yeah, you've got a few night swims. Then you've got this back bank as well. I've always fished over the far side generally when I've done the odd night here before, but it's going to be like 32 degrees tomorrow. It's the shallower end of the lake up here. As you can see, the wind's pushing in, and I think this is where I need to be. I suppose I'm fishing around, let's think, around sort of this area. I've just sort of pinged 2 baits in that sort of vicinity. That's where the fish have been rolling. But I think I'll give it another hour, and I will put a little bit of bait down the margin. Fish will probably one down the margin tonight and one in open water. Anyway, again, I'll stop waffling on like I always do, and I'll catch up with you, hopefully with a fish in my hand.
I don't know if you saw that, but obviously that fish went motoring off. I managed to get the take on camera, but when it was in front of me, I'm sure you saw, but I've never ever had a fight like that in my life. It was like an absolute bullet. Then it sort of come on the inside and went underneath the decking and done me on the post. So check the hook. Hook's still good. Now normally when you lose a fish, it's like that horrible gutted feeling in your stomach, but when they want to get away that much, I think, no, kudos to him, man. He deserved to get away. But yeah, my 30 years of fishing, I've never ever had a carp motor off like that. It was like a bloody marlin. Anyway, I'll quickly run through the rig while we're out of the water. So obviously it's a clay lined lake, I'm guessing. It's like a commercial fishery, so it's man dug, but it is quite silty out there. So I have just a short length lead core, 2.5 ounce distance lead. Didn't really matter really, to be fair, and that's on a helicopter rig. There you go. Hook link is probably 8 inches long. Then that's I suppose, yes, sort of 7-8 inches of corded boom, and then a little size 6 claw, barbless rules on here. That's probably why I've lost a few, but little counterweight there, and then just a little white pop-up, and that's it, mate. That's all I'm doing. I'm just flicking them out, and the carp are lining up. Like I said, I've actually lost 3 now. I had 3 takes, lost all bloody 3 of them. But we will plod on. I'm going to get this bait back in the water, and hopefully the next one will hit the back of the net. Hit the net before we really knew what was going on, to be honest with you. One bit of grass there. But you're off the mark. Say not a monster, but all very welcome. Hopefully there'll be a few more of these. I'm sure there will be. Let's get you down, mate. Remembered me water bucket today. Oh, other rod kicked off there. That's with the liner. There we go. Angry little spawned out common. But it starts off, gets off the mark, and things can only get better from there. Right, let's get him back. Well, it's a quick change of tactics on the left hand rod. I've fished it down the margin now for the last sort of few hours. It's just gone really quiet down there. So around about sort of 30 yards, I suppose, they're absolutely porpoising like dolphins. So I've chucked out a solid bag, and I'll give that probably an hour or two, and then I'll get the rods ready for the night. But I reckon, just by looking out now, it's going to be a busy one. So I'm going to get everything prepared for hopefully. Right, so carrying on from last week, we are going to do another on the bank cooking with Damo. Damo. Right, there's not a lot of prep to this one. I appreciate last week's was a bit of a head banger, so quite a lot to get your head round. But today we're going to keep things a little bit simpler. So everything I've got is in my hand, and I'm going to show you how I prepare my on the bank meal. That's what I do. Oh Jesus! He's awake.
Well, that'll have to wait. On cue. Right, I'm going to turn this camera off and deal with this fish. That was a good timing, weren't it, eh? A little bit lively again. Another common. So we can catch on this channel is commons. So there he is. A little bit bigger than the last one. Big old paddle on it, look at that. Bulgy old eyes. So that's definitely clean the side. What I'm going to do is now, if this fish was a big one, I'm sure it'd be called Scar or something like that, because of the other side that you're about to see now. But this side's not quite as tidy. As you can see on the rear of him there, he's a bit battered up, isn't he? It's like an old wound. Little pug nose. But yeah, nice little character fish. And like I say, live on camera. So that's pretty cool. And another common for the channel. Easy fella. Right. I'm going to get him back, and then we're going to get back into the old Chef Ramsay stuff. Right, Rod's back on the dance floor. Now, before we was rudely interrupted, I was showing you my meal for the night and how you guys at home don't have to live like tramps, and you can enjoy a nice meal on the bank. It's not all about fishing, is it? So, all the ingredients I need is this bottle of Budweiser. So what you do, these ones have a twist cap. So, you crack this. I don't know why it's doing that. And then you're ready to go. Now, I suggest you maybe rewind that and watch it back in parts so you can take it on board and do it yourself. But yeah, that's all prepared now. So the next thing is the old taste test. Here we go. American Lager, Budweiser. Oh, absolute piss water. Oh dear. Oh. And in between sips, you can put that back on. And to anybody out there that drinks Budweiser, I would say put your tampons back, go and get yourself some Stella, because that shit is rank. Right, I feel as if we should have a conversation on carpiness. Now, things I find really carpy. First one is sort of out of default really. I forgot my rear butt grips. So, as you can see, the rear of my rods are resting on a Fox camo bucket. And that is carpy. That's an edge, 100%. It's going to catch you more fish. Secondly, I don't know if you've seen it, but for no reason whatsoever, I don't know if the camera can pick it up, but I have wrapped the butt of my rods in Fink & Angler's camo tape. They're brand new rods. There's no need for it, but again, it's carpy, isn't it? So it had to be done. Stove in the background, always carpy. Probably should have done a tea bag pyramid. Again, that's super carpy. Sleep under a brolly. That's another edge. It's making yourself look cool on the bank. What else? Oh, the nevs. Nevs are carpy, aren't they? They're a bit of a niche. You know, if you use nevs, you're a little bit quirky. You know what you're doing. Things that ain't carpy, these may just be my hang-ups, but my top 3 non-carpy things to do is, number 1, and this should be illegal, is Delkim's with fox swingers. It is disgusting. Secondly, I'm going to say just Delcums on a fox pod as well. Like, you get away with maybe a solar pod or a jag pod or a summit pod, you know, but Delcums on a fox pod, that ain't the one. No, you're going to look stupid. And thirdly, I'm going to say small bait runners, say a Shimano 8000, something like that, on a 12-foot rod with 50mm guides. That is not carpy in the slightest. Again, that is ridiculous. But, you know, each to their own. If you disagree with anything I say or think there's anything less carpy than what I've said, by all means, leave a comment down below, and I will reply, and maybe I'll have a chat about it next time. Oh, before I go, this is carpy. Check that out. You can sort of pretend you're scanning for fish, but yeah, hoodie is carpy as well. So like I say, if you want to, leave your comments below, and we'll have a chat about it next time. See, I'm doing that thing now where I am well aware I'm being filmed, but I'm acting like I don't know I'm being filmed. Pretty professional, you know, like a camera crew's caught me off guard. So yeah, maybe tomorrow I'll do a similar thing up in a tree. Who knows? It's not even a drink in here. Not even a drink. Purely a prop. Lovely. Lovely. Well, it is the morning, and not much to report really. It's 7:15. I've been up since about 4, and I've literally had nothing to record. Night was slow. The carp sort of moved on out, moved over to the other side. Couldn't get nowhere near them, and the swims opposite myself are booked for the day, so I couldn't even move over there. Yeah, and say as the carp moved out, the bream moved in numbers, and no matter what I'd done, bags, singles, whatever, the bream were on it in seconds. So I had a bit of a restless night. I sort of kept at it, trying to get a little bit of good content, and you know, I want to do the old classic first shot in the morning of a carp sitting in the net, but it wasn't meant to be. There was a few fish on top this morning. I did have a little go at like floater fishing and that, but again, they weren't really interested. They weren't sort of feeding confidently. That's not a hard word, isn't it? Yeah, so back doing what I was basically doing yesterday. I just got one down the left hand margin, one in front of me in open water, but say the lake is absolutely dead. It's just like someone's turned off a light switch and just nothing. But I've got a couple of hours left, so this won't be the last time you see me. Hopefully the next time you see me will be with a fish, but I'll say me proper goodbyes. This is just a quick update to let you know how last night went, which was pants.
Ooh, I'm sorry guys, didn't see you there. Well, that's the end of the session. A little bit of an anticlimax towards the end, if I'm honest. I thought it'd fish a bit better than it did, but say the fish just turned off this morning. But as is life. Anyway, I need to get home because I've definitely got a poo brewing. I need a shower, and I'm sure the wife will have something to moan about. But yeah, if I could get like a like and a subscribe, that'd be awesome. You know, I think I'm currently on 20 subscribers, so hopefully by the end of the year I hope to hit around sort of 50 million. That'd be very much appreciated. But yeah, all I have to say is thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Let's roll.